Billy Beige here, and happy Halloween. And if it's not Halloween, happy belated Halloween or happy early Halloween. Today I'm looking at Five Nights at Freddy's Endo series from Jazware's Classic Freddy and Shadow Freddy. This is up, at least right now, and still in stock and ready to ship on Jazware's Vault for $30. And I already have the other two sets, the Freddy set and the Bonnie set. I haven't reviewed them because I actually got one that had some issues, and I contacted customer service, and they did help me, and they have, I believe it's just the Endo shipped out just to replace where it's mine had a bunch of plastic issues with it, but that'll be for another review. But I'm excited for this. I've wanted good, or at least more articulated Five Nights at Freddy's figures since the Funko ones came out. Because when those came out, they were top dog. They were like the best thing you get. And they were good for the time, but now I'm so glad there's something better. Now, this is the Vault edition. As you can see, it has Classic Freddy and Shadow Freddy, who's in Five Nights at Freddy's 2. So, just put 2 there in your head. But it looks really good. It has the Endo in there. That looks cool. It's very articulated. It's got the you call it, I guess you'd say it was animatronic parts, but really it's kind of like armor parts to put on the Endo. And yeah, it's glowing eyes, part snap on there. I don't know what else they'll put out as exclusives, but I'm ready for Chica and Foxy, and I kind of, if I can, I'd like to pick up another Bonnie, because you can make 2 figures, but you only get 1 Endo. Heck, I'd even love if they put out an Endo set, because even though the gimmick is to swap pieces back and forth, you kind of want them both. You want more figures and things, and this is pretty neat from the one I mess with. But let's go ahead and get this out of the package. So before I pop this out of the clamshell, I just wanted to go over, it does come with the Classic Freddy, the Shadow Freddy, the Endo, and then it comes with these alternate eyes, because you can also pull the eyes out of the Endo and swap those out, so you got those in there too. Just didn't want to miss that. So here's the articulated Endo. This is the real action figure of this set. You don't have 2 action figures in here. You have 1 action figure that has armor pieces. Now, this thing looks like the game's Endoskeletons. It has some rust detailing on there and everything for something. It's not out of the park paint job here, but it has where it looks good. It has where it looks like it should. The eyes on it pop, and it's honestly heavily articulated for what it is. This is really dope. I really hope we continue to see these. I hope the Endo series keeps going, because man, I'm such a sucker sometimes. I would keep buying these if they kept putting out different animatronics. Hopefully they don't go so far as to be like, hey, check it out. Here's this variant, here's that variant. Keep those special. Get me the main animatronics out. And also, since this is this technically has where it's pop and swappable and has some universal joints in here, in theory, you could do Mangle with this easy peasy with some other new parts, a couple other different things there. You can do that with this, or potentially with this down the line. So I'm excited to see what they do. But let's take a closer look at the articulation on the Five Nights at Freddy's Endo. So a slightly closer look here. You can see the detail I was talking about a little bit better, about where it's got the flecking on there. For rust, a little bit of a little wipe on there. It's not a lot of paint wash on there, but you could have where you go in and put a wash on this, add some more stuff to it, add some more rust detail, it make it really, really worn if that's what you want to, because the standard price for these, at least at Walmart, was $25. This is $30. I don't think that's bad for an action figure like this is. I think this is something you could customize if you wanted to, and it'd be affordable. But articulation. So the eyes are removable. We'll pull those out later. But He has articulation at the mouth that can pop open, so you have screaming face right there. The head is on a swivel, so you can turn it all the way around. This one is a little loose, but it's not bad. It's nothing like to be like, hey, customer service. At the shoulder, it has where it can spin all the way around. It can hinge all the way up. Technically, it doesn't have a bicep swivel, but it has a swivel at the elbow, and you can go a little bit beyond 90 there. Swivel all the way around. It has a ball jointed wrist, which has where they're swapped with the other hands. It has hinges at the wrists, which are very generous. At the torso, it has a ball joint, and like you can do a fair amount with that. Given it doesn't have any like neck articulation up here, you can't really like look straight down, but you know it could be imposing in weird animatronic ways. At the hips, I was very surprised that it has drop down hips, which I think is really cool and adds a lot of range for different kind of armor parts once they have where they get beyond just the like first 5 Nights at Freddy's animatronics and stuff. Ball joint at the thigh there, so it can just do about everything. If you move it to certain ways and stuff like that, you can get where you can do like a whole Van Damme there. It does have at the top of the hip has a swivel there, and then at the knee, it's a high knee I think, but like if you lower it down, yeah, it is. It has a 90 at the knee that can also spin around if you want to do that, so you can get really just all twisted up. And then at the ankle, it has a hinge with detents. You can go back so far, but then also it has where it has a ball jointed foot. I'm down with the ball joint there because it works. Some feet I deal with, and like different action figures have where it's like a hinge and it has like a peg and stuff, but like with the ball joint there, it works out, so you can have where you spread out, and then you have where you angle the feet so you can actually look like it's standing flat. So that works out a bunch there. Going from articulation to popping this guy apart, because like I said, you can kind of pop and swap him, and you kind of do for some of the stuff. Not with this one. Bonnie has like a removable arm, but like you can if you twist and pull, pop out the arm. You can pop out the bicep. You can obviously pop off the arm right there, or the hand right there. You can pop at the waist. Obviously, pop at a ball joint, very easy. You can pop at a knee. You can pop off the feet. It's very easy to pop this guy apart, and at least you might be able to get some of these to match up, because like, okay, let's see here. So this was the which one was which? Okay, so this is the wrist, this is the shoulder. It's got about the same kind of stuff going there, so I should be able to take the, oh no, wait, slight different size. So it's not perfectly matched up for everything. It looks close, but yeah. So do with that what you will. I'm hoping Jazwares will put out more pieces, and you can do crazy stuff. Maybe if they do a Mangle set eventually, it'll have where it's got like some bonus pieces, so you can just really get out there and do some crazy stuff with these figures. Because it would be neat to have where it's like, hey, have like a builder set, have an endo set, just do a whole bunch of things. You give me extra pieces for my building and my stuff like that, kind of sets like this. Make this like a Lego set, basically. Just give me a bunch of different parts I can do some wacky, crazy stuff with. I'm in. Now, he does have where his eyes are removable. They peg in, but let's see if we can get them out here easy, because it's always a fun part here. Oh God, there we go. That wasn't too bad. Flat and round, flat goes down. That's not too bad. It's a little hard to get it out at first, but yeah, just a peg. Not bad, not bad. So it's easy to swap out those eyes for Shadow Freddy. Next, we'll take a look at putting all of this onto this. So, some things of note with the armor pieces. Now, they are hard plastic. They do look good. I mean, like there's a paint detail on there. It has where it makes it look a little weathered. It's not too crazy, but main thing here is it's hard plastic, and they have where they're pegged together. If you ever feel like something is hard to pull apart, maybe don't do it. Just have where you heat it up, either hot air or such. But you see how they go together right there, and obviously just line them up. But like, okay, we'll just do one piece here. Easy peasy. Now it's inside there. With the jaw, if I'm remembering correctly right now, it has where it goes on right here, and I believe it just snapped on with the other Freddy. I just had where I just went on there, lined it up, and just pushed, and just kind of snapped on there, and then it was on there good and correct. I thought it would just line underneath and then push up, but it was actually just push forward and snap on there. And then it's just orienting the other pieces the right way. Like this is a, let's see here, this is a hip right there. On the inside, it should have where it's marked left or right. Let's see here, Yep, this is the left hip. So this would pop on over here. Boom, left hip. So at least everything's marked left or right if it needs to be. Ball jointed hands pop off, pretty easy to pop on there. That was a little loosey goosey, but if you do have a loose part like this, like I recommend with like most action figures you have where you swap something out and it has where it's loose like that, heat this up in hot water first, and it'll go back to focus there. Come on, focus. Why you no focus? Yeah, heat this up with hot water first. Like heat it for like 2 minutes, dunk it in there, let it sit for a minute, pull it out, either let it cool, air-wise, throw it in your refrigerator or your freezer for a second, and it'll be back to like the factory shape there. So it'll have where it has a little bit more friction. If it bothers you, this isn't like too loose. He's not holding anything, so not bad. Not bad to me. Oh, and the other thing is changing out a foot. So these are ball joints here. So you got to pop off the ball joint, find the foot you want. Do these have where they're labeled there or not labeled? Put that foot on the ground, put that ankle in there, push down, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle some more. Possibly use a heat gun because you slowly get frustrated. No, you didn't pop in. Your ankle just twisted. Yeah. With that, you might. Did you? Nope. Did it again. Yeah. Don't be afraid. There we go. Yeah, don't be afraid to use like a little heat gun, hair dryer, a little hot water, stuff like that. But it'll go on there and it'll be on. This is rather tight. But that's better than not being tight, I guess. So, yeah. Do with that what you will. I'm going to finish putting this together. I will use fast motion so it's not super boring. Ta-da! So yeah, once you have him all put together and everything clicked correctly in place, because I had a couple pieces that were not snapped just right. He does look very imposing, very creepy, especially when you turn the lights off and you just have like a couple lights on him. I like how the matte paint on there, I like that it's not a glossy plastic and everything. I love that. Let's go ahead and just flip the lights back on here. So yeah, he looks really good. I'm glad they had some separate eyes to swap in there. He looks really good. Now the classic Freddy, there's no real difference with that one compared to like the normal set. This is the classic Freddy with this set, and this is the classic Freddy that's the standard set. It's the same paint job. It's honestly, I might have actually swapped them around. You'll never know because it looks the same. So the only difference is the Shadow Freddy parts right here. I imagine some people will probably have where they sell off the extra Freddy parts to this one. Some people do, some people don't, you know, depending on what they want to do. But let's do some comparisons next. Here's Shadow Freddy with Withered Freddy, which is really just a, you know, different paint job. A Funko Freddy Fazbear, which in hindsight now is just looking creepier than ever. A standard Marvel Legend or Tracksuit Mafia figure. A NECA Ben Cooper kid. And Maximus from the McFarlane Fallout TV show figure line. So, do I think that the Endo series Shadow Freddy Classic Freddy 2-pack is worth $30 and needs to be in your collection? If you're watching this video, you're into FNAF, I have a feeling. Or you're at least into Showbiz Pizza or Chuck E. Cheese's or animatronics in general. Pick it up. It's spooky looking. It has where it looks just a little bit scarier than the other ones out right now, at least. There's plenty of potential to have where you pop and swap and make this your own. And honestly, you're going to have enough parts at some point from collecting doubles or where they release like a figure like this where it's like, now I have 2 classic Freddys. You could paint up whatever you want there. Have fun. Get creative. I think at $25 for the regular ones and $30 if they keep up with this for like special ones like this, totally worth it. If it's your first time at the channel, please subscribe. Let me know down in the comments below, what was your first interaction with Five Nights at Freddy's? Was it the game? Was it Let's Plays? Let's be honest, you probably, Markiplier got us all. Markiplier got us all into FNAF. Matt Pat had where he just drove me down so many just crazy what ifs there. But let me know down in the comments below. I'm excited for when Chica and Foxy come out. I can't wait to see what else they do. I just want more. I'm excited to see what else Jazware puts out because they have the kind of like jump scare kind of $10 figures. They have these for $25. I've heard that they're going to do dioramas or like maybe a stage or something like that. I'd be into that, even for the comparison, watch that. These don't scale perfectly well with like normal 1/12 scale figures. If they put out normal characters with stuff, and also you could do forced perspective and things like that just to make things look right. But if they just put out dioramas and they keep putting out these figures, I will buy them. They feel good. They feel right. They feel like quality. That's what I'm into right now. But I'll see y'all in the next video. Happy Halloween. Be safe out there. And I'll see you in the next one. Later, guys.